John Truitt, the CEO of Simple Sleep Services. He joins us to talk about the major causes of sleep deprivations and some other things as well. John, first of all, thank you for coming on. I sure appreciate your time today.
Oh, sure, Ernie, no problem.
I hear more people say this on a daily basis. I am not sleeping well at night. I myself find I find myself waking up 2 or 3 times almost at the same time every night.
Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, with all the pressures in today's society and with the workload that we have and the ability to basically just keep going 24/7, that's not an uncommon thing.
So waking up at the same time, I always think there's some kind of sound taking place, and that's why I'm waking up. I just don't hear the sound, but I hear it and I wake up.
Huh? Okay.
Is that possible? That's possible, but I'm wondering if your body just gets in a sleep cycle that your body just wakes up. I wake up every morning between 3:20 and 3:27 every morning without fail.
Well, you can definitely condition your body to get into a certain circadian rhythm where you're waking up at certain times. I would imagine with your vocation, it requires you to be up earlier than most, and you probably have your own kind of set of hours that you do. So absolutely, you can kind of reset that, but it's really kind of against what we were intended to do. Our bodies were intended to actually have 2 sleeps a night. So our forefathers basically would go to sleep when it was dark. They would sleep roughly 4 hours, kind of wake up in the middle of the night, do things literally around the house kind of thing, go back to sleep, and then wake up when it was bright again. And obviously with the invention of electricity and lights and all of that, we've kind of changed that up.
That sounds like they just took a power nap.
Yeah. Well, 2 long power naps.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I read an interesting story that they put people in a situation where they had no idea what time it was. They had no access to natural light, and they found that the people were working on a 29-hour day.
Right. Right. I'm not familiar with that particular study, but
Yeah.
That's not surprising when you desensitize someone like that to get some very unique results.
Let me ask you about this, the rules that were changed by the FAA about pilots. I was surprised to learn. I have 2 friends who are pilots for major airlines. They say they get plenty of sleep, but they say they know it's a problem with the smaller airlines, the commuter airlines, that those folks don't get enough sleep. The rules are now 9 hours between flights. You're supposed to get 8 hours of sleep. I guess that's what everybody thinks. But are these new rules going to make any real difference? It's only an hour really difference that they've stretched this out.
Well, it's the hour of difference that potentially could help, but it's really down to the quality of sleep. And the article really commented. I mean, one of the pilots that was cited with an incident that occurred not too long ago. They'd shown that he was actually on the internet in the middle of the night in a airport lounge. So, in the airport lounge, discourage sleeping. So it's not necessarily the time off shifts, and you obviously can't make someone sleep, but it really, there is a difference in between the time that you sleep and the quality that you sleep. And a related article came out yesterday on police officers as well, Ernie, that showed that many of them had something known as obstructive sleep apnea. And really, back to the quality of sleep, you can quote unquote sleep for 8 hours, but if during those 8 hours you're not getting the restorative sleep that you need, it's actually not like sleeping at all.
How do you fix those kind of problems, though?
Something like obstructive sleep apnea is actually a physiological issue. People generally snore that have obstructive sleep apnea. It starts with snoring, and then the snoring evolves into, instead of the soft tissue in the back of the throat simply vibrating, it actually closes the airway. So the patient goes without air for 10 or more seconds, and basically what happens is a trigger is sent to your central nervous system to tell you to wake up, and even though you don't realize you're waking up, your body actually wakes up, so you breathe, and then you try to go back to sleep again. So obviously that sleep's being interrupted. In addition to that, what's happening is whenever your body has to trigger that to make that happen, blood pressure goes up, which obviously everybody's aware of hypertension and the negative impacts of that. And they've actually found that the correlation in between stroke victims and people that have this obstructive sleep apnea, it's extremely high, upwards of 90%.
So if I awaken with a start and my heart's beating fast, does that necessarily mean that I had stopped breathing?
Look, it potentially could. It doesn't necessarily mean that. And what you would, anybody in that condition that's concerned about it should really see a sleep specialist and go in for what's called a full overnight polysomnogram and have a board-certified sleep physician evaluate you, because there could be neurological issues. There could be a multitude of things other than obstructive sleep apnea that are causing that to happen.
How about other issues? If you don't have sleep apnea of any kind, is it just stress? And should you take melatonin or maybe take a pill of some kind?
Well, I want to be very clear that I'm not a physician, so I would never make any recommendation for someone to take a supplement or a medication. Yes, I mean, there are people that do that, and there are obviously ways that you can work with your physician, be it stress, be it lifestyle change, weight loss, cessation of smoking. All of those things can positively impact your sleep hygiene.
John Truitt, CEO of Simple Sleep Services. John, thanks for coming on. I appreciate it.
Ernie, thank you very much. Have a great day.
All right. Merry Christmas to you.